Ooh, bit wonky. Bit like me. Bit wonky. Hello, everybody. So, I wanted to talk about something here because I sense that a lot of people, myself included, as well as you maybe, sit around and wonder, why is it that we're so messed up and so full of self-doubt and so full of self-condemnation and whatnot? And the answer to that is gaslighting. Yes. You know, similarly to when somebody is put in a political prison, say somewhere in China, where, you know, they pull your toenails out and they tell you that they do it because they love you and it's good for you and they're helping you to, you know, to let go of these false beliefs and, you know, that the great dictator really loves you and that you need to let go of the belief that he's a bad man and you need to be re-educated and it's for your own good. And that's why we're, you know, pulling out your toenails and we're taking your kidney and selling it on the black market because we love you. You know, children are violated, abused and beaten in Chinese schools on a regular basis. In fact, all the time it is a culture of extreme violence. You know, Falun Gong practitioners or people that choose to be Christians, they're called house Christians, you know, because obviously they can't go to church, so they have to meet in each other's houses and practice their belief. Now, I don't hold with Christianity, but that's neither here nor there. These people are apprehended and put in labor camps where they are tortured. Oh yeah, very bad. I mean, there's shit going on in China that just would blow your mind with horror. It really would. And China is like a kind of blueprint for how they want the world to be. You know, it's like they target certain populations or countries as a zone of, like a kind of petri dish, I suppose, you know, and say, okay, what can we see, what we get away with and what we can do and what people will accept. In China you have this, what is it, good citizen rating type thing, where your behavior is rewarded with credit points, or your bad behavior, i.e. question things and speaking your truth and seeing through the facade and the lie, will get you negative credit points, and you can't travel, you can't use the train, or you can't get food and that sort of thing. It's really scary. I mean, you know, I'm not going to go further into it because you can do your own research with regards to what is actually happening in China. I urge you to do so because it will give you a very clear idea on what the cabal or the deep state or whoever, whatever, wants, what they really want for this world, you know. It basically is an energetic terraforming operation, because these beings that ultimately are behind all this came from a dimension that is very, very heavy energetically, and they can't stay here very long. They want to stay here permanently, so they, for hundreds of years, for them the hundreds of years hasn't been hundreds of years, it's been but maybe hours, days at the most, possibly, because time is not what you think it is at all. You know, because people say, oh, they planned 9/11, you know, 40 years before it happened, and actually to them it wasn't 40 years, it was probably like maybe, I don't know, 40 minutes, you know. Anyway, it's energetic terraforming. That's really what's going on one level, you know. And I mean, George Orwell would be flabbergasted. He would be like, oh my God, it's so much worse than I thought it would be. You know. And so humanity, you know, people are all living in a world which, yes, it's not as bad as in China, you know, say here in the UK, for example, or perhaps where you are, you know, but given half a chance it will be. And I get back to the point again of why we are so messed up. It's because we've been gaslighted in a massive, massive way. Now, gaslighted is a term that was taken from a film. I think it was 1946 or 1949, I'm not sure. It's quite a good film. It's got Ingrid Bergman in, and she meets this really handsome man, and he's all, you know, charm and good looks and whatnot, and he marries her for her money, and then surreptitiously sets out to get her to commit suicide. You know, he wants her to believe that she's insane and mad, and so he basically starts messing about. This is set in Victorian times, by the way, and, you know, gaslight lamps, and he starts messing about with the lamps and turning them up, turning them down, and playing very clever, very elaborate mind games with her. So she ends up totally, I mean, discombobulated, totally lost, totally terrified, has absolutely no faith in herself whatsoever, just a gibbering wretch, basically, you know. Of course, he gets found out and he gets dealt with. Unfortunately, in life, that doesn't happen, you know, and people don't realise. I mean, think about the world that we live in, where, think it's like, say, McDonald's, which is pure evil. And yet its ads are all about happy, shiny people. Oh, we're so happy, we're so happy. Everything that is dark, rotten at the core of its existence is portrayed as good and happy and wonderful. Like in the 80s, you know, where all the models in fashion started to be really, really thin, and it was like the heroin chic type thing, you know, where you would get some model lying about like this, you know, dressed in Gucci or Versace or whatever, lying about, you know, in a disused warehouse, looking like a heroin addict that just died of an overdose, you know. That sort of imagery, which is very, very manipulative. It's a sick, sick game that's being played on humanity, and it's obviously been done for a very long time. Very long time. Gaslighting, you know. I mean, I could go into so many different sort of examples of it, but suffice it to say that everything that is good is labelled as bad, and everything that's bad is labelled as good. And I'm not here to do the work for you, you know. You're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to start looking into things and opening your eyes, and, you know, and you will see it for yourself. Humanity suffers collectively from a massive amount of PTSD, where people are going through the motions of, oh, I have to do the shopping because I have to get the food to eat to survive, and I have to get the money I need to buy the food that I need to eat to survive, and then you have to get in your car and you have to queue by the stoplights. There's always queues everywhere, and there's asphalt tarmac roads everywhere you go. You have to get from A to B, and you have to be in your car, and you have to buy the fuel to run your car, and, you know, and you have to queue and you have to pay, and, you know, it's just awful. I mean, it is a horrible, dark grind, and it's like, well, it's Groundhog Day. Absolutely just awful, you know. And it is just anathema to our being, because most people, believe it or not, don't want that. They don't. There is love in us, creativity and beauty and goodness, you know, but this energetic terraforming has been going on for hundreds of years from where we are looking at it. Of course, it hasn't been that long at all, but it really sort of has, you know. Terrible torture and torment and just constant grinds, you know. It's sucking the life out of everything and all of us, you know. And it is totally schismed everything. And gaslighting is basically what that is. And we've all been had in a massive way, you know. I just wanted to say that because I think that so many of us, you know, just aren't aware of that. We still exist in a state where we think that it's right and fair that we exist like this, that it's right and fair for there to be houses everywhere and cars everywhere and people everywhere and policing each other and social norms and, oh, we must say this, we must behave like that, we can't speak our truth because people will retaliate, and we have to do as you're taught and pay your taxes and work hard, and if you work very, very hard, then you're a good person, and if you pay all your taxes, then you're a good person, and if you inform on your neighbors, then you're a good person, and if you join the army and fight their wars for them, then you're a good person, you know. And if you dare to say, well, hold on a minute, why did we have this war? Why did we have that war? Why did we have the Vietnam War? What was that Tonkin Bay thing all about? Hey, Jim Morrison's father, oh yeah, Tonkin Bay, look it up. It's what made the Vietnam War take off, people. The Lusitania, that's what made the First World War happen. They make these wars happen. They want these wars. And people are stupid enough to go out and fight these wars. In the First World War, if you were a conscientious objector, your life wasn't worth living, man. You know, the white feather thing? I mean, the whole of society would just pounce on you. And in the Second World War, it was pretty much the same. You know, conscientious objectors, people that said, look, I am not going to fight this war. I'm not doing it, were hounded. I mean, there were many suicides, you know, believe me. It was really bad. So these are just examples, you know, wars. That war in Yugoslavia, oh my goddess, what a nightmare that was. War, perpetual war, perpetual energetic terraforming, you know. And there is a war, a battle, a war, an energetic war being fought throughout the multiverse. One side, the side of light, is fighting in a different way. It's not about aggression or manipulation or gaslighting. The light doesn't fight that way. It seeks to restore balance. This is what we call reset. You know, but evil has no compunction about how it fights. It will fight really, really dirty, you know. Still, I mean, you're probably maybe listening to this and thinking, wow, Anika, you're being very negative and sort of, you know, it's all very depressing and hopeless, and I guess that today I feel that way a bit, you know, I do, and I feel really angry, you know, because I had to do the shopping, and I went to a place nearby where they sell organic food. And considering where I live, you'd expect there to be loads of places selling organic food, and there's hardly any. So this place has the monopoly, so they charge an absolute fortune for their food. Which, again, that's just a kind of gaslighting, you know. It's like, well, we can charge this much because nobody else is selling organic food, so we're just going to charge you 10 quid for a carrot. Well, they don't quite, but, you know, they're not far off. And then you get all these well-off eco mummies and daddies that shop there, you know, and they drive me insane. The eco mummies, you know, and daddies, and they've always got loads of kids. They breed like rabbits, so that's not very eco, is it, considering? And they always drive these big 4-wheel drive cars. Oh, but they're electric cars, you know. And it's like, yeah, but in a roundabout way, electric cars are not eco, because ultimately they still use fossil fuels, you know, because they have to be electrically charged up, and that's backed by fossil fuels, so you're full of shit. And it's like, it's not about them caring about the earth or about the animals, you know, because they were shoveling, you know, meat pasties in their mouths and shoving it down their kids' throats. No, it's virtue signalling. It's a way of life. It's fashionable to be eco, you know, because if they actually had to make sacrifices and started living a really simple life and say, okay, I'm not going to eat meat anymore at all, and I'm not going to use leather products, and I'm not going to do this, and I can't do that, no, because that's just asking too much. I mean, they had a little girl, she was about 3, and she had this doll. You know how these parents have their babies, and this is a good idea, you know, if you're going to have kids, to have your baby right here in this little carrier like that, and that's a good idea. obviously. But you know, the little girl already being programmed that, oh, procreation is a good thing, you should have loads of children, had this little doll in this carrier like that, you know, and the doll had a dummy in her mouth. It's like, oh my God, just... It pissed me off, because it's all bullshit. You know, it really just is. There is no consciousness there, you know. There really isn't. There is no awareness there at all. And they haven't got a bloody clue. And it's just virtue signalling. And you know, and it really is just fashionable. It's like the whole cotton industry, for example, is known to be incredibly bad. You know, it's reprehensible. But if you want to get away from wearing cotton, you better be loaded. You know, you better be very, very well off, because you try and buy nice hemp t-shirts. Hemp is good, and they should produce it a lot and use it for everything, because it's very versatile and it's very easy to grow. But the powers that be don't want that. They want destructiveness is what they want, so they're not going to grow hemp everywhere and change everything around. That's not going to happen. But you know, so you think to yourself, right, I'm gonna, you know, make that sacrifice, and I'm gonna give up on wearing you know, cotton and stuff, and you know, start to look toward hemp. You better be loaded. I'm telling you, to be eco is very expensive. To do right in this world is very expensive. Yeah, if you want to eat clean food and you want your negative impacts on the ecology to be minimal, you better be loaded. That's the way they've set that up, and that's the kind of gaslighting as well. Or the fact that, you know, we don't in this country, but in America you get pharmaceutical drug advertising. And I've seen some of these ads where it's like, oh, if you take this antidepressant, you're going to be a tall, slim blonde, you know, and you're going to feel great. And, you know, you're just going to be so happy. Or if you use these pills or those pills, you know, this is what's going to happen. And it's all wonderful. The sun is just so bright. And, oh, you're on this beach in Hawaii. And life is just fantastic and great. And then, in actual fact, you know, if they're being truthful, they will tell you that actually these pills will rot you from the inside out. They will give you Alzheimer's at the age of 39. They will make your penis shrivel, and you know, they will give you chronic insomnia or diarrhea for the rest of your life. You know, because that's the truth, basically. You know, do you remember the Coca-Cola ads from the 70s, you know? And the nice songs and the families and the picnics. Oh, man. You know, yeah, energetic terraforming people. And then, yeah, it's just this world's just such a terrible number on us, man. We're just so, you know, and that's why we don't trust ourselves, because there is that hijack part of us which goes, oh, when your intuition says, this is right and this feels right, that the gaslighted part of yourself goes, oh, that can't be right. All my life I've been told it's like this, you know, and it's like, you know, cognitive dissonance. Ooh, and your intuition is there, clear as a bell, going, yeah, but that's bullshit. You've been gaslighted. Go here. And that's why you get all that resistance within your being, and hence you get all this cognitive dissonance, which is what's causing all the depression, the anxiety, the grief, the, you know. And if you're truly awakening, then you will be feeling all of that, you know. So, yeah, that's that really, and that's what I wanted to say. And I had a weird dream last night, and it was a good dream. And I was in this most beautiful world where if you wanted to go somewhere, you didn't have to get in a car on an asphalt road and wait by every stoplight and have people behind you honking, going, fucking carry on, you know. No, you were, okay, I want to be there. And somehow flow, you're there, you know. Or you could take this conveyance, which was this, I don't know, like something from a fairground, like a little type of boat which floated with a little pink ball in front of it with two things coming out of it plugged in, and you're just in the thing and you just start like to go there and it would just gently float you there. And I mean, the colours and the beauty and happy, truly happy people without the Coca-Cola, everything was just wow. And I understood in the dream the meaning of love and the meaning of creativity, true creativity, you know. I mean, in this world, true creativity is amazing, you know, when we see beautiful artwork or beautiful poetry or beautiful music, you know, or nature or whatever, something beautiful, we know it and it makes us feel good. Well, in the reset or after the reset, true creativity is to be this creator being with infinite imagination that can create anything. Beautiful, pure, colourful incredibleness, such as I simply cannot put into words, people. And I wanted to talk about it at the end of this video because I know that I talk about some very dark subject matter, and that maybe there are times where, you know, and you know what, if it depresses you, don't listen to it, you know, just don't do that, because there are days where you just got to say, no thanks, I'm not doing that today at all. It's just the way I've been feeling, you know, and I feel a lot of anger and I feel very upset and very sad when I look at the world around me, when I see it. Awakening is that. It is, because how else can we heal it? You know, it is part of our journey. But you know, sometimes we also need a break from that, and we need to feel better and whatnot. You know, it's whatever. And I urge you to watch that film again, What Dreams May Come, because it's very similar in a way. But it's way, way more beautiful, way, way better than that. Say you imagine something amazing and poof, you know, we no longer have to talk, we don't need language, because we sense and know and commune with one another, with nature, with animals, with everything, and everything is whole and complete and in the flow. And it is so incredibly good and beautiful. And this is how it once was. Before the hijack, before the fall, before the virus, the infection. You see. Evil is fighting very, very hard and very, very mean and very, very dirty. You see. It is. And it's also being exposed. But there's a lot of people who just don't want to know. And I think mostly they're just organic portals. So I don't think they are particularly relevant. I think the only relevant people are those with souls, because they are here for the quest, you know. And one way or another this is going to work out. I mean, there's just the amazingness of that dream. Wow, it was just beautiful. And that's why it was tough for me to wake up and be here again. It's like Groundhog Day, like I said. It's like, oh no. Grinding, grating, awfulness. It's too much. But anyway, it's that synchronicity I had all those weeks ago, you know, of love always wins in the end. I look somewhere else and it's just so you know. It will all be alright in the end, and if it isn't alright now, it's not the end yet. The end game is here, in this massive battle, this magnum opus, the great work, this profound, energetic alchemy that we are a part of, indelibly. We are the walkers between worlds. We can do this. We need to hang in there, you know. And awareness is part of that, you know, we know that. Waking up and seeing and knowing and feeling it is part of that, and it's hard. But there is an upside to that, come on. It will be okay. It will work out. I guess I just needed to vent a little bit, you know, the eco mummies and daddies. You know, but then similarly, you meet some really nice people as well. There was this old guy there, older man, and he was buying shitloads of garlic, and I was like, oh yeah, because it was big bulbs of garlic, they were great. And he went, well, you know, just to keep the vampires away. I mean, and he was lovely, and he had so much soul, you know. It's lovely. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to have a smoothie and, well, chill out and take it easy. Lots of love to all of you. Oh, doing that again.